The New York Yankees wrapped up a 10-game homestand on Sunday with a loss to the Blue Jays. And heading into the week, the Bronx Bombers are 13-9 on the season. Let's talk some Yankees baseball with New York Post sports writer Dan Martin, who joins me from the stadium. Dan, how you doing?
I'm all right, Dex. How are you?
I am doing well. Now, Dan, the Yanks, they just dropped 2 out of 3 to the Blue Jays. It's their first series loss of the season, and they went 5-5 on this recent homestand, having played 16 of 22 games at home this season, but only recording 9 home wins thus far. Do you view this homestand recently as a disappointment for the Yankees?
Yeah, it's maybe a mild disappointment, but really they're just trying to find their way with all these injuries that they're dealing with. Aaron Boone mentioned it before and after the game about how beaten up this roster is offensively and pitching-wise. So I don't want to say they're trying to stay afloat right now, but this is not the team that they expect to have in the coming weeks and months. So, yeah, they would have liked to have hit a little bit better, won a few more games. But really, it's a hodgepodge of a lineup that we saw today that got shut down. So they're dealing with a lot of different things going on right now. And as long as they kind of not stay afloat, but play pretty well, I think they'll be okay as long as some of these guys that they're counting on come back and start to produce.
And with those injuries there, Dan, I got to talk about the offense here because 4 runs scored by the Yankees in 3 games this weekend against Toronto. They haven't scored more than 3 runs in a game. They scored it just once in their last 6 games. So should fans be concerned about the recent lack of offense from the Bronx Bombers that they've seen here recently, or is it just kind of what you said before, trying to find their way offensively with all the injuries that they have?
I think it's fair to be somewhat concerned because when you look at the reality of it, they've got some very young, inexperienced guys in the lineup, and they're counting on them. Today was a good example of that with Peraza and Cabrera and, kind of Falefa at the bottom of the lineup. And if you didn't get something going through the first 4 or 5 guys in the lineup, it didn't seem like much was going to happen. Volpe is up and down right now. He's still getting his footing as a major leaguer. I think they're going to be fine, but they don't necessarily have the track record as a lineup, as an offense as a whole that they typically have in the past few years. So it's fair to wonder, if Anthony Rizzo is something, he's going to come out of it. The same with Judge or LeMahieu. These guys don't have the resumes that some of those veteran players do, and some of the veteran players that they're counting on, whether it's Josh Donaldson or Giancarlo Stanton, who's hurt. You have to wonder if they can stay healthy, and are they going to be the players that they have been in the past?
Yeah, we will see how that goes with the Yankees offense as they move forward. Lastly, Dan, the Yanks, they now embark on a 7-game road trip that will take them to Minnesota and then to Texas. Following a 5-5 homestand, what will you be keeping your eye on with the ball club on this road trip?
A lot of it, at least some of it will be away from the ballpark. How does Carlos Rodon and his back, how does that progress? Aaron Boone talked today about him playing catch, throwing a bit of a throwing program, but they still don't really have an idea of when he's going to be able to pitch for them. And it's been a while now, and Severino is still out. So there's a lot of questions on the pitching side of things. That offense that we just talked about, Judge is going to be Judge, and Rizzo is going to be Rizzo. LeMahieu has been very encouraging. He looks healthy and good. Those are all good signs. But yeah, you want to see how these young players develop on an everyday basis, whether it's Anthony Volpe or Peraza or Cabrera, and how they meld together as part of an offense that, like you said, has struggled in the early going here. But they're confident in these guys, but until they prove it at this level, there are going to be questions.
Yep, Yankees, as I said, embark on a 7-game road trip this week. We'll see how they can do. A lot of the stuff around the Yankees right now, as Dan just mentioned, has to do with their health. They've got to get healthy and get some of their guys back. We'll see how that goes. That is Dan Martin, sports writer for the New York Post, with a great insight as always. Dan, thank you for your time. We will talk soon.
Sounds good, Dex. Thanks.